Everyone's coming in, piling in slowly. Amazing, amazing. Welcome, welcome. This is the last day of this month over here, 31st March. We're moving into the end of the month now. Um, wow, pound yen really moved up towards 152.500. Okay, let's see what we can do here now. Just have to make sure. Oh, there we go. The gulag is live. We have the chat box coming in. Awesome. So we're moving bullish here in pound yen. From the Asian session, we moved up towards fill the wick over here to the left hand side. Gold is also getting close to break again. Wow. A lot of things happening this morning here. We have ADP coming in as well, and ADP is looking at, it's going to be a really, really strong ADP. So we'll have to wait for that as well around 8:15. So let's take a look at pound yen here first. Let's kind of like break it down. So looking on the daily time frame, obviously daily is moving up right now. We have a wick to fill right here around 150. I mean, that's not far. It's like 12 pips away, 10 pips away. So let's take a look further left over here now. Looking further left, what we can see is that there was a rejection at 152.730. So we're going to put a zone right over here. In case price comes up to this point, we know that, okay, there was a rejection right here. So in case price starts to move up, we know that there was a zone there. So we're going to keep that zone in mind. Right, now let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and let's start breaking this puppy down. So looking on the 4-hour, we're coming up to a rejection point here. But also remember, when pound yen was moving up on the weekly time frame, it came to rejection levels so many times and it just started plowing right through them. So looking on the 1-hour time frame now, 1 hour seems like we created a support down at 152.150. So there's your zone right here, right? Looking on the 30-minute time frame, yep, it's clear we made a support. Now at the same time, 30-minute candle, we created a support at 152.360 here and a minor resistance at 152, like, 490, 500. So this is in the range at this point now. What I do think is that maybe this is a much stronger support down at 152.100, and if we break this support, we have a clean range down towards 151.900, 151.880. So this is something I'm going to be looking at here. For sells, I'm going to be looking for sells below 152, like 100, because you got a nice 20 pip range here, clean candle to the left hand side. Sells below 152, 350 wouldn't be as good because, like, if you drop down to the 15-minute time frame, you see a lot of rejections here, a lot of like problems, as price comes down. So it's gonna get pretty messy. Plus there was a pretty long consolidation area here as well after Asian Open and moving in towards London Open. So we'll have to be very careful about that. So maybe potential sells below 152, 100. Going to be much cleaner below this area, and obviously, like, potential buys above 152, 500, potentially going all the way up towards 152, 700, which is also 20 pips away. So that's something I think is going to be pretty good to look out for here today. Let's take a look at this one chart coming in. Oh wow, took that entry based on a break and retest of turn support. Nice. TP hit daily resistance. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a nicely run trade. Moved all the way up towards this area after London Open. Very nice. It is nice. Please, Wix, can you give me your WhatsApp number or any of your contact? Need to chat with you, please. Oh, that's a little forward thinking right there. Introduce yourself before asking me for the number, man. Come on. Ask me for my number. I don't know if I can do that. All right, okay, so looks like gold is breaking up over here. Let's take a look on the daily time frame here. So daily is obviously rejecting this area. This is a huge rejection area around 1678. Big rejection area. Let's remove all analysis. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're breaking above this resistance formed on the 4-hour around 1685. We also got the support formed at 1678. Now, as we're moving up, we need to look to see on the left hand side where there's going to be some sort of a possible rejection where price can move into, right? So looking on the 1 hour, we don't have anything there yet. We had a resistance around 1688, 1689. Seems like we're breaking above this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a yellow line right over here to kind of like visually tell me that, okay, this is an area that we're breaking. And if we continue breaking this area, there's a very high probability we're going to continue on towards, 1696, which is what, 90 pips away? Yeah, 82 pips. Yeah, it's a pretty big range over there. So yeah, this is perfect. I mean, if we do break above and stay above 1689, 1690, I think we can easily move up towards, 1696. But obviously we got ADP coming in. So if I show you this right here, they're looking at really, really good numbers for ADP. So we got to be very careful about this. Look at this, 8:15 a.m. They're looking at 552,000 from, 117,000. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is gold, 80 pip zone. Nice, same idea over here. Got the same idea. Do you think buys is risky since price is bullish during Asian and London, so we can expect a pullback also because of the rejection to the left? I don't think buys are risky. I mean, if we do break above 152,500 and look into the left hand side, it's possible we can move on towards 550. But I think again with volume, I think volume can really push price up towards 152,750, the higher resistance up there. So we'll see what happens. Like we've seen in the past with pound yen, there's a lot of volume. There's so much volume in that pair that it usually just continues on towards zones and moves up. Where is the funeral music? It's still playing. So it's still got the funeral music playing. I waited for the retrace, then enter a buy, stops, break even, 12 pips made. Oh, nice. Very nice. All right, what's this? In this situation in gold, would you wait for 1 hour confirmations or would you look for an impulse entry? I would wait for a candle to close above this area. The only reason why is because when you look to the left hand side, your immediate left, what you see are rejections here previously, right? So as candle comes up, you have to wait for the candle to close above. You need a candle to close above this area because it can very well reject like this, make a wick and go down. So if you're looking for any impulse entries above this area, I think you need to stop trading for today. Whoever's looking for impulse entries, you need to wait for the candle to break above this area to continue going up. And also it's the end of the month. So if someone's planning on to full margin their account because they got losses 2 days ago, don't do that, man. It's the end of the month over here. So, be very careful. Be very careful today at the end of the month. Yeah, I'm probably going to be chilling today. Going to do a withdrawal and then we're going to start to get ready for Dominion markets. Pretty excited. We're launching tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Everything is set. So we're going to see how that goes. Let's see here. Hey, can you look at this GJ trade I took before the stream? How could I manage my risk better? Let's take a look over here. So entry, okay. So you entered when this candle closed bullish and closed 50% after price made a comeback to the range. Close everything. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Your risk management was perfect. Yeah, there was nothing. No problem there. Oh, thanks, guys. What's the spread for GJ? I think it's going to be the same as any other. I mean, it's going to be like, 1.4, 1.5, 1.3. I think anything below 2 pips is pretty good. Yeah, so we got this resistance now in pound yen. We're ranging over here. We're creating a support. We're creating a resistance. So we're waiting at this point now. Are you nervous about starting something new? Oh, no, not nervous at all. I mean, we'll see how the first 6 months go, So, very, very optimistic about things. GJ from yesterday, 30-minute chart. Nice. Waited for the retest previous wick to enter a trade. We broke above the wick. You entered the trade. Stops below the current candle. Nicely done. Failed. Full runner. Oh, beautiful. Full runner came up. seeing that the last time we broke 152,500 on GJ was in April 2018, do you believe we'll retrace instead of long continuation? See, at this point, anything can happen. I mean, if we do break above, technically above 152,500, which is a strong psychological number, I do think we can continue this bullish momentum. I do think that. So we'll see what happens. Plus, also we got ADP. It's going to affect the USD here a little bit too. It's going to affect, well, a lot. It's going to affect the yen a little bit too. So we'll see what happens. Did you already take a trade? No, I did not take a trade. Will Dominion Markets have a pro or VIP account? Yes, they will. There's no such thing as a pro, raw, VIP account. There are only two types of accounts, right? One is your standard account, and one is your ECN account. Some people call it the pro account, some call it the raw account, some call it the low spread account, whatever you want to call it. There are only two types of accounts: your standard account and your ECN account, or pro account or raw account. See over here. All right, let's take a look at this over here. Impulse entry took an L. Okay, price came up. Okay, closed bullish. See, this is the problem. Price closed bullish, right? Price closed bullish. You could have taken your impulse entry buy, right? Because look, this candle closed bullish. This candle closed bearish. Resistance formed. Then you had to wait for the next candle to break and close above resistance, which was right over here. Now you got your confirmation, right? And then if you're taking an impulse entry, you could have waited for this next candle to break the high to take an impulse entry. Did it break the high? No. So was there an entry? I don't think so. You know, and then this candle broke up, and then this would have been your another confirmation for price to go up, and you know, that could have worked much better too. So you know, again, always look to see how could you have done better. You know, how, because sometimes, you know, I may not reply at the time, I may reply late. So it's very, very important as a trader, if you take a losing trade, to look at the trade and see where could you have done better. So, you know, that made sense. So if you investigate it like that, then you're going to say, okay, like, you know what, maybe next time if it happens, I'm going to be ready for that. So looking at gold, we're coming back up to 1688. Let's take a look at GA over here. Let's kind of like break down GA. I've seen a lot of people trade GA, so I think it's going to be beneficial for everyone. Let's take a look at this over here. Are you going to take a trade on here today? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's the end of the month. I've already done well for the month, so I don't know. I'll see what we can do. Maybe ADP, maybe do something with the volume move, but we'll see what happens. All right, GA daily is ugly, man. It's not good at all. Look at that. It's just kind of like consolidating, ranging. This candle's not going anywhere right now. Low volume, small body. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, this is just nasty over here on the 4-hour time frame. First of all, we got a resistance right up over here at 1.81,000. We got a support down over here. We got to take a look at that in more detail on the 1-hour time frame. So looking at the 1 hour, this is our support right here, 1.80580. And at the same time, oh yeah, we're creating this resistance there. It's a very clear as day resistance, mate, right here. Yeah, we'll need price to break above this area. It's not clean at all. It's very, very dirty. Now look, if it's coming down, its next level of kind of like problem area is right over here. Right, and if you measure this range, this is like a 16, 17 pip range. GA normally has a higher spread, so like, you know, with that, it's like 17 pip range, you got a 2 pip spread, 15 pip range. It gets pretty tricky at that point. So I would maybe stay away from GA, or maybe I'd want to see a support formed here for price to maybe continue moving bullish. So we'll see what happens, but it's definitely not looking clean at all. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ, secured 70% at 9 pips. Oh, wow. Stop loss within the range. Nice. Look at that. Guy got lucky over here. Just secured and things just retraced. Boom. I tried getting into the Market Fury program. There's no crypto option. Oh, you need to send an email to support. Okay, let's see here. Fear of not receiving my withdrawals. Oh. Safe place to invest money without fear of withdrawals. I think if anyone doesn't give you withdrawals, then they're not going to be in business for a long time. And I think that's why there are a lot of regulations now in place. That's why it took us a long time to get, approval from Medicodes, because there are a lot of shady things happening. So they want to do their due diligence to make sure whoever they're getting the license to is they're going to do proper business. So that's the whole thing. Let's take a look at this. Someone gave the trade a second chance. Oh, nice. Close full position coming up towards 152.500. Beautiful. Yeah, let's see what happens over here now. Gold is at 1688, resistance area. We got ADP coming in. We got pound yen ranging, GA ranging. Let's take a look at Euro JPY. So for people who are new, who are tuning in right now, you're going to see me going through different pairs. It's not like I trade all these pairs. I just like to look at these pairs because, I just like to look at good price action, and also some people also trade those pairs. So I think that's good information for them as well. So looking at Euro USD on the daily time frame, we're coming up to a possible rejection at 129.900. We got clean range above this area going all the way up towards 130.400. So we got to see what's happening here on the 4-hour time frame. So you can see how the 4-hour candles are making smaller bodies. So I haven't looked at the chart at all before. This is the first time I'm looking at this chart. We have strong body candle, a lot of volume, bodies getting smaller, wicks getting bigger, bigger wicks, smaller bodies. This basically means the volume moving up is potentially dying at this point because the bodies are getting smaller. So looking on the 1-hour time frame, we're creating a resistance here at 129.900. Now looking to the left hand side, that aligns perfectly with the resistance which was created back on 21st March. This was done after in the New York afternoon, and we just rejected that area. So we're at that same scenario at this point now on the 1-hour time frame. Looking down at 30-minute time frame, we have a support form right here. We have another support form down over here at 129.540. Let's take a look right here, right? So this is our another support. Now we have these zones, right? Now below this area, so simple things are there right now is I identified the most recent resistance, which is right here, obviously. Identified the most recent support right here, obviously. Now, where will price go if we break below 129.670? This is a 14-15 pip range down over here till 129.540. Either you can look at this range to trade, it's like 14-15 pips, not much, but still. Or you can look for price to break below 129.520 to have this. How big is this? 22 pip range right here, all the way down towards 129.300. So these are your potential ranges where price can move into. Right now we're just in this 20 pip range, just problem over here. Candles printing side by side, a lot of issues. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Looking for buys above this area, looking for sells. Very nice, very nice. I almost have the same idea. All right, gold 30-minute chart, buys above 1690.50. I also think Orlando buys above 1689. Like having a strong candle closing above this area would be much better confirmation for price to move up as well, rather than waiting for 1690 to break, because then you're missing out on some move at that point. All right, let's take a look at GU. Oh wow, look at that. GU is coming down. Looks like it's doing some sort of a retracement over here. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we're rejecting. Daily time frame is still bearish here on GU. Looking at the 4-hour, let's remove all the analysis here. Yeah, we're basically rejecting here. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, we're rejecting. Looking at the 30-minute time frame. So now we're going to create our resistance right here based on the 30-minute time frame. And it seems like if we're coming down, there's some sort of a problem here, maybe on the 15-minute. Let's see. No, not really. So the only thing we can identify here is that maybe this could be some sort of a support area where price is coming down, because if it's coming down and if it creates a support, I think there's a very high probability we can continue up to retest the high. Because price, basically what it did is from the London session, it moved up in pre-London, London open, kind of retraced, and it started moving up again, made a high at 1.37900, and now it's retracing down. So if we create a support, I think there's a very high probability we can continue up to retest this high. So all we got to do at this time is to see where the support is going to be formed, and then possibly we can continue moving bullish. What time is ADP today? Mr. Max Mabandla. ADP. I wonder what time is ADP today. Let's go to forexfactory.com. Let's take a look at Wednesday date today. Oh, look, it's at 8:15. Wow, crazy. In about an hour and 20 minutes. Wow. This is super secret information, guys. Don't look at this information. FBI is going to come knocking on your door. The SEC. Why you guys got to throw me under the bus? Come on, man. You guys are making me look at sensitive information. It's right there, forexfactory.com. If you're trading and you don't know of any news site, I don't think you should be trading at that point. Yeah, I don't think trading should be a hobby you should pick up if you don't know about a news website. That's like trading stocks and not knowing what what stocks are. You know, it's just unreal. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Looking for buys above this resistance, a better idea. Yeah, I mean, on the 15-minute, yeah, you can look at that on the 15-minute time frame. I'm only looking at that on the 1-hour time frame and the 30-minute time frame, right? Because I'm just looking for a candle to close above. Obviously, this may be some sort of a contingency area, but then you're basing volume to push through this area after all. So we'll see how the candles start closing here, and then we're going to start to look to see what we can do about this area to the left-hand side. My question is, let's take a look at this. Could I enter buy when the red test doji candle high broken? Is that a valid idea? Oh, right over here? Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because this was your breakout here, and if you missed it, maybe when this candle started breaking the high right here, that would have made sense to continue up too, because you know this is still a candle, and this candle has a low and it has a high, so it works out to the same thing. Would you not say that the move on GJ, if it breaks below previous 30-minute candle, should be a clear move for at least 15 pips? The reason why I don't like that is because of these rejections here, right? Because if this candle comes down, like, it can break support, no problem. But my entire issue with this is if we break support, there's like rejections 10 pips away. So I'm not sure. So like, I'm not sure if it's going to continue moving or it's going to start rejecting this area because it rejected here before. And then below this area, you have more rejections around, 10, 11 pips away again. So that's why I'm not willing to look for sells below this area. But I would like to see sales below 152, 100 though, because you got clean candle to the left hand side. So now it's up to you whether you want to put yourself in a better position to win where you have clean candles to yourself, or do you want to put yourself in a much tougher position to win where you have rejections on the left hand side, right? So now the ball is in your court and you got to decide whether you want to hit it outside the park or do you want to hit it inside the lines. So this is going to be a little tricky for these sells because of uncertainty to the left hand side, but below 152, 100, I think it's going to be much easier because you got clean candles to the left hand side. So you know how Ontario is going in lockdown zones? So that's going to be our gray zone. Actually, let's put that as a maroon zone right here. This is going to be your, it's going to be your maroon zone right over here, kind of like hard to trade, and then this one right here would be your easier zone to trade because you got clean candles through left hand side. Right here you got problems, you know, rejection over here, rejection over here. So you really got to pick and choose what battles you want to fight. You know, because trading is a battle and you want to choose which battle you want to fight. Can you give me your thoughts on my missing trade right here? Missed this trade, but I know I should have entered. Sometimes just watch trade, although I know we should enter. I freeze. Any thoughts? Yeah, you can lower your lot size. This was a very, very good analysis. You know, price broke above the high, and you could have basically lowered your lot size and had the trade in so that at least you can get that confidence in that, okay, your analysis is working. All right. If you have a problem with overtrading, you can download an app to lock your trading app outside trading time. I feel it helps me just sharing. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just focus on one trade a day or two trades a day. Sometimes I take multiple positions in one trade, you know, but it's still like a one trade. Do you take broker commission into account when you win or lose certain pips? I always add broker commission in my calculation when I lose, deduct broker commission when I win to get a real picture. What's your thoughts on this approach? I don't take that into account. Broker commission, I don't take that into account. I just focus on, like, you know, when you look at your MetaTrader and you see the number of pips, those pips are added on the commission and on the spread. So that's what I take into account. So, you know, like a commission is basically the fee you're paying to execute a trade. That's all what it is. All right, what's this? This is Ethereum perp. Okay, we got support formed. Okay, very nice. We got a clean support, and yeah, this is amazing. This is actually amazing. Look at this. You got clean candle to the left hand side, which means we got clean range, and also we got a clean support formed, and below this area you got this wick to fair right over here. It's perfect, you know. And then you got your range right here. Now you're kind of like waiting for your range to break. Yeah, so price is coming down into this troublesome area over here. I know some people have entered sells anticipating price to fall, but just be careful about this area to the left hand side. Will the mini markets have Islamic accounts? Probably. I don't know. We're looking into it. Not many people use Islamic accounts. The only problem with Islamic accounts is like you'll be paying swap fees, right? So with Islamic accounts, there are no swap fees. But also you gotta understand that how many times are you going to be holding your trade over a full day? You know, because whenever you hold your trade over a full day, you incur swap fees. So if you're not holding a trade over a full day, then there's no swap fees, then there's no reason to, like, you know, sign up with an Islamic account because everything else remains the same. Yeah, gold is still at this point now, not breaking, not moving anywhere. Pound yen is broken below support, but this is a potential rejection area, so being very careful at this point. Let's take a look at this chart. And guys, when you send charts, just send charts once. Don't send them 4 or 5 times. It's pretty annoying, you know, because it spams up the chat. Price broke below support. You had kind of like clean candles here. Entry at a break of the low. Oh, nice. Yeah, this was beautiful. Secured 10 pips. GA moves a lot for you to give you opportunities to secure at least 10, 12 pips, 15 pips. What do you think? Good news has already been taken into account in the price of gold, and today when the news is good also, but less expectations, the price of gold will go up. Yeah, that can happen. You know, but technically for price to go up, we'll need to see a break above 1689 at least. Any tips on how to identify a higher low being made and entering on it? I think you need to anticipate higher lows being made. Just like right here, right? So if this candle is coming down, we've broken below support, you're anticipating this candle to break the previous low and to continue moving bearish. That's what you're anticipating at this point. You know, so it's not about how to see it, it's about how are you going to visualize it. Are you planning to do sell stops and buy stops during ADP? No. No sell stops and buy stops for me today. Maybe, we'll see. Looks like GU is also coming down to a potential support area over here. We'll see what happens at this point. Okay, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a SPX 500 chart. We have a 1 hour chart. You have a support at this point, potential sells below 39.56, okay. TP1, TP2, potential buys above this area, above resistance. I think you also need to measure this range. How big is this range, right? Especially how big this range is and how big this range is. And then you also got to take into account the spread, because if this range is not that big, then spread is going to make this range even more smaller. So you really got to see whether taking a trade, where your trade is going to make sense, because your range has to be big enough for you to take that trade. I was going to enter a trade yesterday, but the 15-minute candle didn't retrace. It just kept bullish, so I didn't enter because I was worried it could retrace. Breaking the high of the previous candle. What's the good precaution? M Shah, I don't know what chart you're talking about. I know you're talking about GJ probably, but I think you need to send a chart. And then we're going to fully understand what you're talking about. Can you invite Alex Doe as a guest? Yes, I'm going to message him tomorrow. And then we shall see. What are the situation where you decide to close 50% of your positions when the trade isn't going on your way? One moment. I just figured out how to do something really, really important. Okay. All right, let's see here. Good morning. What do you think about this gold sell idea? Does it make sense? Please take a look. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look right here. Looking for buys above this area as well, 1688. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's better to look at the 1 hour time frame and a 30-minute time frame. Also, looking at above 1690, that also makes sense too, because so we're going to see how the 1 hour candles close at that point. So sells below 1683, clean candles here. You got enough range, 43 pip range. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. It's within this area right here. So this is what you're looking at right here, right? Below 1683 on a 30-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. Yeah, you got enough range here. That looks good. That's like a range within a big range. What time frame rejections on GJ stopped you from selling? 15-minute. You can see right here. 15-minute rejections here. You got problems on the 30-minute here as well. You know, you got consolidation on a 1 hour time frame. So that's why I didn't sell at that point, because, you know, there were rejections here. QGW, love you, Raja. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's mutual. Love is mutual always. Oh wow, look at that. Candle's about to close in 23 minutes here on GU. 15-minute candle's also going to close here soon. And we will see if we break above these highs, can we continue moving bullish? Let's take a look at this. What are the situation where you decide to close 50% of your position when the trade isn't going your way because it can just retracement? Yeah, sometimes, when I go in profits, like let's say if I take a trade, my trade goes in about 5 pip profits, 6 pip profits, and if it comes back to my entry point, I'm closing 50% at that point. Or if I'm in a buy and the candle breaks the low of a 15-minute candle or a 30-minute candle, then I'm also closing 50% at that point. The only reason you're closing positions is so that you can mitigate risk. Because whenever you're going to get stopped out, your whole idea of about getting stopped out is to really have a smaller loss than anticipated. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. If this 15-minute candle closed bullish, would buys be valid if the next 15-minute breaks the high? Yes, I think so. I think so. See that? It's broken the high at this point, so I think there's a possibility for price to continue on towards 1.37900. But I'm going to be looking at buys for pound yen above 152.500. So let me put this right here. Potential buys above 152.500. Target all the way up towards 152.700. So we'll see what happens. My account finished at 15,000. Wash I take 10 lot to 10 me finish. I don't know what language is that. Jamaican? I think if I say it in Jamaican accent, it's gonna seem Jamaican. Where is it? My account finished 15,000. Watch I take 10 lot, 10 me finish. Yeah, it's Jamaican. It's Jamaican. Yeah, man. Any languages, we say it in that accent. Watch I take 10 lot, 10 me finish. Yeah, it's Jamaican. Nice. You guys rate it, right? You guys rate it? You rate Jamaican? Yeah, gunshot. Someone's saying, please don't do that again. All right, no problem. A lot can be learned. Everyone need to focus and learn tricks, but still they use it for scalping or day trading. I'm trading since a year, but didn't know many things which I learned now from you. Oh, nice. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Can you explain about crypto broker phenomena? Is it like to have your withdrawals in the same way as you depositing? Like if I deposit using crypto? Yes, it's crypto to crypto. So basically what happens is most crypto brokerages, what they do is it's basically done on trust, right? I mean, sometimes what happens if you've been a client for a long time, then they make exceptions for to have your deposits and withdrawals in different methods. But for in the beginning, it's always everywhere you go, it's the same. It's the same regulations. Like, okay, if you're gonna deposit via, let's say, a Visa, the withdrawal has to be in Visa. If you do it with a bank withdrawal, has to be through bank withdrawal. If it's in crypto, has to be in crypto, right? Unless you are like a long-time client or a brokerage, and then you can request them, and sometimes they can make exceptions and stuff like that. All right, we got Kevon coming in here now. I use KOTFX. Is that a real brokerage or no? Well, you just mentioned you use it, so I guess it's real, right? I mean, can't be a pigment of your imagination. I mean, it's real if you're trading on it. You're getting your withdrawals on time. Your trading is good. I mean, there's no problems. Then it's real. Will you add Perfect Money to your broker? I'm not sure what that is. If that's a money transfer app, maybe down the road we'll see. But so far we're pretty small. So as we grow along, new things come along. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes when the candle closes above the high zone and the next candle it doesn't retrace and it goes straight up, how would you trade it? All right, there's a chart coming in with that. Let's take a look over here. GJ, candle closed above, next candle went up without pulling back a bit and continued. 15-minute chart, nothing. You can't, because you got resistance right here. You can't trade it. You can't take a buy. You got resistance literally 6 pips away. So there's no trade at that point. There's no trade at that point. What are your thoughts on gold if it stays below 1695? Any selling opportunity fundamentally? 1695. Before thinking about selling below 1695, let's focus on if we do break above 1688, 1690, how can we ride price all the way up towards 1695? That's a better question over there, rather than looking for sells at that level. You know, so because if we think price is going to move up, then we have to see how can we ride it all the way up. You know, fundamentally speaking, I mean, anything can happen. I wasn't really expect this entire move that happened on gold, you know, from 1720 down towards, you know, 1670s. This I was expecting by Wednesday, but this happened in 2 days, you know, 2 days because of positive NFP coming in along. And someone said that boat that they fixed that also caused gold to drop too. I don't know about that, the legitimacy about that, but I do think that the ADP and the NFP is priced in on gold. That's why we had this huge move coming down. So right now we have ranges. We have pretty big ranges, in fact, for price to move. So we'll see what happens once we break above, you know, 1689, 1690. I feel you have a very good psychology mindset. Can you please give thoughts on relationships in real lifetime? Please advise. Relationship advice. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm old enough to give relationship advice. I don't know. Just be honest. Be honest. I think what I've learned in my relationship, so I'm married with 2 kids, right? I got 2 kids. And what I've learned is that if you don't find time for your family, you're not gonna get that peace of mind in your house. That's something what I've learned over time, right? You got to find time for family. Like, you know, we can get so busy in our work and all that stuff, but we got to find time for the family. Even if that's on the weekends, you know, 3 hours on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, maybe 1 or 2 hours during the weekdays. It's very, very, very important. You know, we work all our lives, but man, the time you can find for your family, that's extremely important. You know, go on a walk in the evening, take your son or daughter on a walk, go on a walk with your wife or girlfriend, whatever that is. But like, do find that time. I mean, be open, communicate, be honest, you know, I don't know. I'm just too young right now to give relationship advice. I'm sure there are guys who've been in multiple relationships and they're in their, like, you know, maybe 40s and 50s. Maybe they can get better relationship advice. All right, look at this GJ here. See this? This is the problem area down over here. Important question. Too many girls want me. How do I know which one to pick? I'm pretty sure that's not true. All right. Entered stream too late and entered stream too late. So can't set a chart, but I'm looking for sells below 152.060. 152.060, okay. And buys above 527. Yeah, looks good. I'm actually looking at the same thing right here. Look, sells below this area and buys above 152.500. One more important thing I learned, so now since price is ranging, so I think it's an appropriate time to talk about that in a relationship, is don't argue. Can't argue. You know, if you're a man, you can't argue with women. You just can't. It's impossible. You just can't. You can't even smile and nod. I tried smiling and nodding, and that just went, wow, man. That was just, whoa. Even if I'm agreeing. Whoa. I'm like, bruh, what do you want me to do?
You're about to start a big discussion here. Please.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it became a love connection.
God damn.
Yeah, but you can't argue, man. You guys can agree with me. You just can't. Just can't. Just do a timeout. Be like,
just say yes to everything, right?
You know what I do? I'm just like, yo, timeout. I'm going for a walk. Timeout.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Oh man.
Just don't try to win.
Yeah, just like the market, you just can't try to win. Just don't do that. Yeah, right now we're just ranging here. Everything is just stuck. Pound yen is stuck here. 30-minute candle still open. We're not sure whether it's going to close back in, close below. Got rejections below this area. Gold trying to break above 1688. Got 12 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. Very delicate situation. This area actually worries me here now, since it's consolidating now and we got this rejection to the left hand side. Did you took the NYSE trade yesterday? No. How much research do you do before you start trading? Please explain if you read fundamentals or technicals. I look at fundamentals maybe 5% of the time, maybe 10% of the time, but not a lot. I really don't focus on fundamentals a lot. It's 90%, it's all technical trading. You know, I think fundamentals really affect price over your higher time frames, like your 4-hour, daily, weekly, you know, over the long term. Short term, I don't think they affect as much. I mean, you have some shock moves, you know, when news comes in, and if numbers are really off, like let's say if the numbers are higher than 552 or like, you know, in that 300 range, then that's going to be a pretty big difference. So that's going to make price move initially. But I don't really focus on fundamentals a lot to say that, oh, the 30-minute time frame should go over here because this and this happened in the UK or the US. It's just, I don't know, that's just too much information for me. They're expecting 552,000 from 117 in a month. What do you think the chances are? I think they're pretty good chances. I mean, some states have lifted the lockdown bans. They've taken away the mask mandate. So, I mean, economy is opening in the US. You know, even in Canada, you know, they've increased they've opened indoor dining. You know, most places here now you can have 50 people inside. But yeah, we'll see what happens. They've also vaccinated 180 million people in the US. Wow. Canada has 34 million people and not even a quarter of the population has been vaccinated. You guys have already vaccinated 3 times the population of Canada.
That's probably fake news.
Yeah, who knows now, man. I just don't believe anything now at this point.
No, it's true. I mean, they basically have a oversupply of vaccine and oversupply of vaccines, and so far, you know, the pharmacies are basically doing the job. Even supermarkets like brand called Publix, you know. So, yeah, there are vaccines everywhere. Yeah. They're working at supersonic speeds. Hopefully, I survive all this first vaccination thing. So I'm not planning to get anything.
Or you want to be the last one to get it?
Yeah.
I want to see if you get it, you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like two extremes, right? Like one extreme is where guys are like, no, I don't know about this. I want to see you have it first. And there's another extreme. They're like, oh, I just can't wait to get it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't see the necessity to get a vaccine. You know, thank God I'm healthy. You know, I don't have anything. You know, so basically, what's the reason for me to take the vaccine? They haven't done enough research on that thing. To be honest, they don't have enough research on that. So probably in 5 years you'll be looking like a lot of bald people, you know, a lot of people losing hair, or, you know, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it because I know there's a lot of people who experience the virus already, so they want to get vaccinated. but not for me, man.
What
Yeah,
happened?
I
Happens if
took
you're
one
using
yesterday. I'm feeling side effects today.
Damn.
But over here, as I live in Saudi Arabia, so over here we're mandatory. We have to take it, or else we can't. Like if you're a job, you're not allowed to take on vacations if you don't take your vaccine.
oh,
Damn. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see? Yeah, government is trying to push your limits.
Does anyone know what they actually put in the
Travel will-
vaccines?
Nope.
Yeah, ultimately travel will make everyone do it.
Yeah, it's a mRNA modification, Michael, in the
I'm sorry?
vaccine. It's a mRNA modification in the vaccine. They basically took the COVID cell and they stripped some of the DNA out of it, and they inject that mRNA into you.
What about the things we don't know? Like I'm not trying to start a conspiracy theory here, but you know.
what we don't know is what we don't know, basically.
Basically, what you're saying is, how is that mRNA going to affect our DNA? That's what we don't know. Yeah, I agree. It is scary.
You also don't know half the ingredients of what's in what you eat.
Yeah.
Depends on who's eating. Yeah, but I agree.
Yeah, let's just keep this conversation away for now. So far, because strictness is all right.
You're right. Let's go back to relationships.
Yo, gold's looking nice.
Yeah, gold's kind of like waiting for ADP here. It feels like still got some time left here now. Missed yesterday's trade because it wasn't clear if you had taken the entry already. Do you buy limit entry or market entry? First thing is, don't wait for me to take a trade. Secondly, if there is an opportunity, kind of like explain to yourself how that was an opportunity. So I think this was right over here. It was right here. Around 151.680. Yeah, we broke below the low. There was clean candles to the left hand side. We came down, and I guess we retraced and continued on further. But yeah, that was an opportunity at that point. After a profitable demo account, I bought Software FX. Should I do at least 1 month of simulation? Is that a good idea? Yeah, I think it's good. If you're doing simulations, I tend to do 2 simulations a week. Sometimes 1 simulation a week. So I think it's still a pretty good idea. All right, let's take a look at this 15-minute on GU. Waiting for the break of the previous 15-minute candle. Would you take a look at that? Yeah, I think let's take a look at this range. Got like a 14, 15 pip range. I mean, if we do break the high, there's a possibility to continue bullish. But the only thing that puts me off from GU is that because, we got ADP coming on, and that may affect the USD. Because, GU is affected by 2 currencies, with the pound and the US dollar. So you got to be careful in that regard. Let's take a look at GA over here. GA is also trying to move up over here now. It's back in that range again. Leonardo Cruz Herrera. All right. What do you think about EU? Good position to open long. The convergence on daily. I think you need to send a chart so we can take a look at that. In the meantime, let's take a look at your JPY. Oh, your JPY is still ranging over here. Yeah, we're still in a range at this point. What do you think about using scanners that display buy or sell signals? Well, just ask yourself, right? If the scanners were so good at giving you buy and sell signals, everybody would be rich. Because if it would say sell, you can just sell and make money. If it says buy, you can just buy and make money. So I don't think scanners work at all that well, or we would be using scanners to make money, trust me. Can you do an in-depth video discussing what clean candles are in regards to clarifying a clean range? Yeah, very nice. Let's take a look at this right here. Let's take a look at this right here. So, example of clean candles versus unclean candles. So this is an example of consolidation, no clean range. Below 152.070, clean range over here. Pretty good example. Do you believe in stop loss hunting? No, I don't believe in stop loss hunting. I don't think there is such thing as a stop loss hunt. I honestly don't believe, because take a look at it this way, right? Let's say that you believe that 152.500 is a daily resistance and you take a sell. You take a sell over here because this is a strong resistance. You're like, okay, price is going to fall. You take a sell. You put your stop loss somewhere at 152.600. You're like, okay, let's take that trade. You take that trade, right? Price keeps pushing. And once price keeps pushing, Kervin, Chris, and all the other guys, they're like, oh, we're breaking resistance. Let's take buys. So they take buys, right? Because we're uptrend, price is breaking resistance. They take buys. Price moves up in profits. They're happy. They're in profits. But someone who took sells, they might turn around and say, oh man, that's a stop hunt. Broker, they know where my stop loss is, so they're hunting my stop loss. No, they're not hunting a stop loss. It's just moving with the trend. You know, what about the guys who are in buys? You know, I used to think like this too back in the day. Like if I'm taking buys as price is coming down on a daily level and price is breaking that level, I'd say, oh yeah, that's a stop hunt. That's a stop hunt. You know, and someone would say, oh no, but I'm in sells, I'm winning. You know, so I had to change my mindset. I was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I think stop hunt is an excuse for people who lose money. That's what it is. That's what I believe. Oh, uh-oh. Let's take a look at this here. This is Euro JPY. We got resistance here. Okay, no trade, small zone, 27 pip range. It's pretty good. You're looking for sells below this area here as well. Yeah, try to look for sells below this support here too, 129.700 if you start breaking below. But break above this area looks pretty good too for price to move up. This is a small range here, but above 130, you have a bigger range. Let's see what I have here at this point. Let's take a look to the left hand side. Looking at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we got a smaller range till, yeah, 130 would make sense. All the way up towards 130. So if we measure this range from 129.900, we got a smaller range here, 14, 15 pip range. Hey Raja, help. I want to learn how to trade, but I barely understand what's going on here. The best place for you to learn trading, like the basics, is going to be this website right here. Quickly write it down. Quickly write it down right now. babypips.com. You go over here, babypips.com. You go to his education, how to trade Forex. Write this down, guys. babypips.com. Very, very important website. babypips.com. And then what is Forex? How do you trade? How can you trade? Who trades? Why trade? And then moving on, this is not necessary. Type of charts is necessary. Support, resistance, candlesticks. That's it. That's all what you need to know. Do that and then jump onto the candle charts and try to read the charts, what's going on with the candles. Someone in hedge found says that we can see the stop loss of people in stocks and confess to stop hunting, but in Forex it's impossible. Yes, in Forex I think it's impossible because there are a lot of orders going in at the same time. There's a loss of volume. It's that idea doesn't even make sense to me. You know, the idea about stop hunts. What about people who are winning trades? Why aren't they getting stop hunted? You know, why when we take trades on live streams, most of the trades we're winning, why aren't we getting stop hunted? You know, like we should be the ones who should get stop hunt all the time. But we don't. You know, so that does not seem right. I watch your streams. Why did you change time? Please explain. There's nothing to explain because the time's never changed. It's the same time. The time of the world changed, you know, like guys went 1 hour ahead. And yeah, the time basically never changed. Hey, Raja, I passed the EST Mon challenge. Any advice? I don't know. Withdraw money? I mean, what else are you going to withdraw? All right. We're coming up here slowly. I think GA has also broken above this area to continue up. Looks like GU is also breaking above over here. But GJ is going to be something I'm going to be looking at. 152,500. We need to break above. Actually, 152,520. We need to break above to continue up. My friend says Bitcoin mining is 100% risk-free. What do you think? I have no idea about Bitcoin mining. Would you take a trade based on 15-minute candle who closed above resistance? Yeah, we'll see what happens with this situation right here. This is the new 30-minute candle that has started. We can see we did reject at the bottom right here, as you know, this was a pretty, you know, difficult area to take a trade in. So let's see what happens here. Where can I find a video tutorial for magic keys? You can go to YouTube. Literally, you can go to YouTube and type in magic keys, and you're going to find a lot of tutorials over there. Guys, we need to do some, you know, logical research here, please. Like, look, you go to YouTube, magic keys, type in magic keys, and oh, look at that, so many videos. Oh, there's a magic keys channel over here too. This is a pretty good video. This is also a pretty good video here. Hey, generally in your trading strategy, would you take trade based on a 15-minute candle? Yes. So I'm basically waiting for a candle to close above 152,500 to see if we're going to continue moving up or not. Let's take a look at this chart over here. My first chart ever. My apologies if it's not the best. Wanted to enter after this candle closed above 800. Was going to wait for next candle. Any tips? Yeah, should have entered. I mean, I don't know. When this candle broke the high, should have entered. Stop below here. We broke above this consolidation. Could have been a pretty good move. Do you think if the 30-minute... Oh, do you have gold potential buy sell zone 690 and 1680? 1689 for it to move up, or 1690 and then 1684. Yes, I have it right here. You think if the 30-minute candle closes above resistance on GJ, next target could be 153. Yes, so I'm basically looking at 152,700 so far for now. You know, if 153 is far away right now, so I'm focusing on an achievable target, which is at 152,700. All right, what's happening here? How much time left for NFP? We don't have NFP. NFP is on Friday, so there are like a couple days left for NFP. Guys, what time zone are you guys living in? Don't you? Okay, so this website also is a very important website here, forexfactory.com. You go to forexfactory.com and you're going to see all these news, and then you're going to see on Friday we got FOMC on Friday. FOMC. If you close above 152.500, wouldn't you be concerned about the two major 1-hour rejections on the left? No, not really, because if you close above 152.500, then you're expecting volume to drive price towards, 152.700. What's this? Speaking about relationships, do you discuss your Forex businesses with your family? I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to discuss those things with family or not. All right, let's see here. I've been researching for the video you mentioned, the name of the clinic that did your hair transplant, but I can't find it. Can you please tell me again? No. Did you mention at one point you get discount for Magic Keys, Market Fluidity when joining Dominion Markets? No, that's not what it is. So basically what we did is, so if you go to dominionmarkets.com, it's mostly focused on learning environments, right? So first of all, if you go to education, you're going to get the best times to trade. These are the best times to trade. This is when there's a lot of volume in the market, lots of momentum in the market. Next, you got pairs to trade, what pairs to focus on during these sessions. And on top of that, like if you're trading and if you're, spending commissions, you can use those commissions to enroll into either Market Fluidity, or you can get yourself a piece of Magic Keys with those commissions that you pay to trade. So that's one thing we have done with Dominion Markets. Because to be honest, the trading environments are all the same on all brokerages, right? It's just about what type of an incentive do you get to trade. So the incentive we came up with was to provide people with education and Magic Keys with the commissions they pay. Because I think guys pay commission anyway, so I think it's a good idea to kind of put those commissions to some work, where you can actually learn something and get better at something. I have a question. Do you get mad about the random questions? No, not really. It takes me 2 seconds to answer them. Alright, so we're trying to break above 152.520. 152.520. We got 5 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. We got 20 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. And this should be very interesting, the way it's moving at this point. So I'm going to have to wait for the candle to close before taking a trade. No impulse entries over here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to take a trade or not. If I do, it'll be like a very, very small lot size. Probably like a 1 or 2 lot. Because, it's the end of the month over here and gotta finish the month strong. On GJ, would I wait for the close above 152.500 to enter, or wait until it breaks above wicks to enter? I think breaking and closing above, this area would be much better. So we'll have to wait and see. Gold is dropping over here as well. It's in this range. We got to break below this area to go down, or break above 1689 to go up. See what happens. Secured 90% at 10 pips. Oh, beautiful. Price then came down and made a low on 30-minute, entered buys. Yeah, this is nice. Beautiful. If it continues on, I think you're going to have a much bigger move moving up towards, 1.37900. Tried the sells on GJ, 15-minute time. Closed right here. Entry when price retested this area at this point. Result, lost half of what I risked. The trade was based on 15-minute daily. I was expecting it to pull back. Was planned ahead. Yeah. I still think this was a very, very risky trade over here because of these rejections here to the left hand side. So you got to be very disciplined about those things. Very, very, very important, because that could have turned ugly super fast. Alright, we got 3 minutes left for this candle to close. Man, this will be interesting. Let's see how this candle closes. Who inspired your strategy? What books or guru or videos? Please share. Thank you. Nothing. We just look at the charts. We looked at the charts and we saw big moves and we asked the question, which I advise people every day, and that question would always be that if we see a big candle, how could we have been in that candle? That's the question I used to ask myself every day while looking at the big candles. And then slowly but surely started to find the answer to that question. You know, started practicing, started executing, started visualizing, started anticipating, and then things started to become simpler and simpler. What people do now is they don't look at things that way. I don't know if it's the new generation or it's the way you're being taught in school to look at things. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but you need to start to look at how would you have been a part of a trade, or how could you have executed on a trade. These are very important questions you need to keep asking yourself every day. Aren't you worried about the area at 550? No, we're expecting volume to continue price bullish through that area. What will be the answer why you didn't bin? What? What will be answer why you didn't bin on this 30-minute? I don't know what that means. Didn't bin on the 30-minute, or didn't take a trade on the 30-minute? Because there was no trade. So, you know, the 15-minute candle is about to close and you can see where it's closing. It's closing below resistance, right? So there's no buys at that point. Why didn't you enter for a buy? Because there's no confirmation. There's no confirmation for a buy. We need a candle to close above resistance, right? Guys, we need candles. I think the Gulag and the Zoom chat is the same thing at this point right now. Why would I take an impulse entry at resistance? You need a candle to close above resistance. If a candle does not, actually, you know what? If a candle breaks the high, just take the buy. And if you take a loss, just take the buy. You know, and then you're going to find the answer to yourself. I don't care at this point. Just wait for the candle to close above resistance, man. It's so simple, easy. Just wait for a candle to close above resistance and wait for price to go up. If there are new people here, you need to get some education, right? You need to go through the database if you're new. Look, potential buys above 150 to 500. Wait for a candle to close and then take a buy. It's the end of the month, right? Don't take bad trades at the end of the month. So just wait. Someone in the Gulag is saying, where do you think they came from? Don't worry, guys. I was in the Gulag too. I was in the Gulag too at one point. Man, the questions I used to ask when I was in the Gulag, if someone asked me those questions now, man, wow. The question I used to ask was, so if I opened 4 positions, will all those positions add up to my total profit? You know, that was one of my first questions I asked Ted, and Ted looked at me, he's like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, oh, nice. I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not a smart person, man. I'm the biggest dumbass you're gonna meet. It's like concepts, they take like 6, like I have to repeat a concept to myself 6 times for me to totally understand it. Yesterday GJ sells, you didn't wait for the 15-minute candle to close. Yeah, because that was a impulse entry in a counter trend. You know, it was an impulse entry in a counter trend. That's why I did not wait for that to close. Because look right here. I think it was, yeah, it was right over here, right? Yeah, it was right here. We had support formed. We had clean candles here through left and side. So I took a couple things in consideration, right? We had volume in London Open, and then we ranged pre-New York, right? And as we moving closer to New York Open, I saw the opportunity here that if we do break below this area, there's a very high possibility GJ can just continue falling down, right? But for moving up, we need price to close above this area. Same thing is happening right over here. Since this is a very, very strong resistance area, you can't take impulse entries. That's why we need to wait for price to close above this area so that you have at least some sort of a confirmation. Right, and then even if you do lose a trade after the candle closes above, you can at least tell yourself that, hey, like, you know, you waited for the candle to close above, and then you executed on it. You know, but if it came down, then it was just like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, at this point on GJ, we'll need a couple extra confirmations for this trade, to be honest, because basically the way I see it is we have created a support, right? In order for the continuation, we're not selling at this point. This candle broke below that support, and this candle retraced all the way back. So at this point, this area right here is becoming a fake out. But this candle, the current 15-minute candle, this one closed, you know, below resistance. But we need a candle closing above resistance to take the trade. Now, the extra confirmation that we will have is retest toward this candle right here. And if this candle, the current one, is closing bullish, then you have all the information that you needed. The candle doing the retest to the previous one, failing to break and close below this one right here. So this support at that point was created and is being respected. So most likely we're going to the next, at least to the next quarter point, to 152 to 750. And from there, you know, it's a monthly closing. So you have to be aware that anything can happen today. So price action can be a headache today, because even though with all the information that we may have, monthly candle can do whatever it wants. But so far, we know that support was created around 152, 370, and from there, that's the area that you wanna, even with the news, you wanna see deep down to retest those wicks to the those candles to the downside, but the bodies of the candles basically closing above this area. It doesn't matter if this candle with the news, you know, we have a break below to retest this low, but the body of the candle closing something like this. Let's say you have a candle closing like pulling down there, but the candle closing like this. You know, if the candle is closing above this support that has been established pre-New York open, then most likely we're gonna have slowly but surely we will have a push toward the 750s. That's all. But you have to wait. We still have time.
Yeah, we got lots of time. We got ADP coming in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. How you show candle time on TradingView? I think it's there from the get-go. Any porridge for the gulag today? We are hungry. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe above this area on pound yen, or we'll see how ADP plays out here, and then might get some porridge, or might get just dry oats. Sell stop or buy stop when ADP news comes. We'll see. We'll see where the candles are at that point. Probably not going to use any sell stops and buy stops, but definitely we'll give some ideas here shortly. All right, let's see here. Yeah, nothing's actually happening at this point. Greece from stay at home to go out. Oh, what? All right, what's happening here? I remember one NFP on the last stream. Both the buy stop sell limit hit. Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Had NFP had buy stops and sell stops, and both got activated. And I was like, oh man, and took two losses at the same time. Will Dominion Markets take US clients? I think you guys can register via crypto, and then I think for the US we have bank wires available. We'll see. We'll see. Like in 2 days, we're gonna launch here in like a day and a half, and then probably by the end of this week or start of next week, we're gonna have like deposit withdrawal methods clearly outlined there for everybody. Great chance once again to learn about building resistance, catching the trend. Yes, so basically we're just waiting here now. See, we're ranging at this point. Gold is also ranging. We got high impact news coming in. Pound USD is also ranging over here. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait over here. I've seen people have higher success rate when they take less trades. 100% all the time, man. You take less trades, your success rate is going to go higher. Your profitability rate is going to go higher. And when you tell guys that you took 10 trades, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you won most of the trades, they will always say this one thing. Oh, well, why aren't you a millionaire then? I've had... Yeah, and then you're like, no, it's not how it works. But 100%, if you take less trades, your profitability will go up. Probably not in the first month or first 2 months, but like third and the fourth month, 110%. 110% is going to move up your profitability. Just got to be patient with taking less trades. Yeah, so just waiting over here now. There's no FOMO, no nothing. How long should I do demo before starting a real money account? I think you should start with a real money account as soon as possible. $100, $150, $200. Because at the same time, not only you're learning about technicals, but you're also learning about how to manage your emotions around money. Because believe it or not, like when I had my $200 account and I lost my first trade there, I lost maybe like $5. That hurt me. Me losing $5, I was like, wow, I lost money over here. So whether it's a big account, small account, losing money still hurts. And that's how you build your emotional resilience against money, especially when you're trading, because you're putting money at risk in the hopes of making more money. But when you start to compound it, or when you start to take trades over trades over trades, then that's a situation where you don't want to be in any longer. I made an experiment last month. I separate my 2 accounts. One just withdraw profits, one to compound it, and result is taking profit way more better than the other one. Oh, nice. Yeah, taking profits along the way is much, much better. Controller FX has a standing desk now, like you, and he eats 3 strawberries a day too. Man, that guy copies everything that I do. Everything, without shame. Sometimes you're ashamed of copying things and doing things. This guy, there's no shame in this guy. There's no shame at all. Probably he's too young right now, but there's no shame. It's amazing.
Don't hate the play, hate the game.
Man, just insane. Every little detail copied. Candles to analysis to pip, everything, even videos. Soon he's gonna get a hair transplant too if he loses his hair. Damn.
Mango juice is coming, hair transplant is coming.
Yeah.
Holy.
It's like that scene from Borat. You got the proper dodge and he gets the little one. And we all know that's for little girls.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's crazy. He's a good trader, though. Like, I've seen his results. He trades okay. But the copying thing has to stop. See, if you want to grow in any business, you have to make your own route. That's what I've seen. You have to do something that other people are not doing. That's how you're going to grow, because you're going to be different. It's going to be new. It's going to be innovative. It's just like when people go buy properties, there's a whole bunch that goes and buys properties where everyone wants to buy. And there's a bunch who goes to buy properties where no one wants to buy. So I have the mindset where I'm going to go where no one wants to buy, because that's not emerging yet, and sooner or later it's going to emerge. So yeah. How to manage $100 account, risk and winning? Please tell, it will help many new trader. how to manage $100 account. I think you need to focus on, I don't know, like if you have a smaller account, I think you can use your smaller account to gain some sort of consistency, right? You have a small account, $100 account, $200 account. You can start to trade for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and start to see how consistent you are on that smaller account. Because the more consistent you get on the small account, then down the road you can look back and say, okay, like you know what, I've been trading this $200 account, and I've been making consistent wins. Maybe this is the point where I can deposit more money. It's like going to a funding account company where you trade your own account, right? And if you're good at it, then you're like, okay, you know what? Let me step it up a little bit and let me go to these funding companies and get a bigger account so I can get like, bigger returns down the road. So use small accounts for your consistency and then start to add like, more money down the road.
Hey, Raja, I just want to get back to the controller FX dude there. I've never heard of him. I just checked it out real quick. And was he a student of yours?
Yes.
Wow. You got to get that stuff copyrighted.
People thinking too much about the money. Don't matter what size you have. Managing risk is managing risk. Yes. I think if you can really, really be good at managing risk, trading becomes really enjoyable. Because like most times when we come to trading, all we know about is like trying to make money, trying to like compound accounts and stuff like that. But instead of focusing on compounding accounts, I know that's important because at the end of the day you want to make money. I think most important thing is also to really learn to manage risk, because the more you can get involved in managing risk, the more you can start enjoying managing risk. Your losses are going to eventually start to become smaller and smaller. I mean, like, you see some guys on Instagram where they have smaller losses, and that's why they have smaller losses, because they're really managing risk. You got to really enjoy managing risk. And that's something I really enjoy at the same time. When price goes against me, I know I can manage risk. I know I can close my trade in a lower loss than I planned, and that keeps you in the game for a long amount of time. Let's see here. When do you see yourself trading 100 lots? I don't know. Never really thought about that. Never really thought about that. For now, I'm trying to push a barrier, beyond 20 and 25. But we'll see how that goes. 100 lots is a lot. People don't understand how big 100 lots are. They're a lot. You put 100 lot, price moves 10 pips, that's 10,000. That's...
Hourly candle's about to close on pound. Let's see how we get the closing.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this GNID over here. Buys above this area makes perfect sense. Sells below this area also makes sense. I think you may be able to be careful about this rejection here, but I think buys look much better because you got cleaner range. Alright, look at that. Closed bullish, but below this resistance on the 15-minute time frame. Looking at the 30-minute time frame. I would say maybe if we break the high at this point on the 30-minute, we could continue up.
Yeah.
But it's in the first... I mean, if it breaks the high in the first 5 minutes, I'm going to be very careful about that. I wouldn't want to execute in the first 5 minutes as it break the high.
So basically 20 pips to the low of the hourly candle. Based on the lower time frames, how big can be the pullback on the hourly candle? Can easily have a pullback to over 152 400.
I don't know.
Like a situation.
We've broken the high over here, but I don't like it because we're breaking the high in the first minute, and generally that means that there's a possibility we can make a lower wick.
152.552 was rejected twice on March 18th. I kind of have my eyes set on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is just ranging over here. That's what I said, but you said I should have entered when I sent the chart. Uh, oh, I forgot what that chart was. Also, we got news in about 13 minutes. So I think it's going to be better to wait for the news to come out. But you know what I'm also thinking is, like, there are a lot of thoughts that go through my mind. What I'm also thinking is that we made a high over here, kind of like retraced, and there's a possibility that the candle can move up without making a top wick. So if it breaks its own high now here again, could that be a continuation of price moving up? If it breaks its own high.
Yeah. And with the break to the upside, you can easily get 20 pips on that move with this 15-minute candle.
Yeah, you have like a 8, like 9, 10 pip stop back in this range. Anticipating, let's say anticipate 152, like 620, 640.
Yeah.
Why don't you look for sells in higher zones rather than lower zones that could potentially make you miss trades? Because, it's really important to follow the trend. If we're at a higher zone, you can't really sell when candles are moving up, right? So we'll see how this plays out over here. I'm not in this trade, I'm just watching it. Plus we got ADP here too. ADP is coming in. See how pound USD is ranging? Because we got ADP coming in. Is it possible to trade GJ in different sessions? I have the option to trade multiple times during the day and follow at least 2 or 3 high volume sessions. I think it's much important to focus on just one session. Even if you have time to follow different sessions, it's really important to just focus on one session and just that. Why are you not in this trade? Because it's risky. I don't like it. It's the end of the month. We got ADP in about 11 minutes. So for that reason, I'm not going to participate in this trade. So this is something I'm just gonna spectate. If it works out, perfect. If it doesn't work out, whatever, yeah, so for that reason, I'm not executing on this trade at all. It's okay to miss trades at times. Some people think, oh, I can't miss trade. It's perfectly fine to miss trades. Don't be afraid to miss trades, because when you miss trades, that's an opportunity for you to learn. Or you can miss trade and say, oh, you know what? I expected that to happen and it happened. I missed this trade. This opportunity is going to come back again. And when that opportunity comes back again, then you're like, okay, you know what? I saw that happen before and now I'm going to execute on this. And someone can ask you, oh, but bro, but this happened, but that happened. But then you can say, yeah, exactly. And I saw this happen before. That's why I'm executing on it. How did you not sell GJ when the candle closed bearish at 4 a.m.? Because I was sleeping. That's why I didn't enter sell, because I was asleep. All right, gold is also coming close over here to support 1683, 1687. Let's lower this zone down over here on the 15-minute time frame. All right. Are you going to trade on ADP? No. Just spectating GJ over here. I noticed that most traders who trade live on YouTube focus on GJ pair. Is there a reason? I don't know. I think when we started the live streams, everyone saw our live streams, and I think they learned a lot from the live streams. And I think they focus on GJ because I think it's a herd mentality, not in a bad way, but it's like, something that seems easy. That's where people gravitate towards too. So I don't know. I mean, I just trade GJ, so I think that's where people got influenced to trade pound yen a lot. Any trades taken today? No. No trade taken today. Wow, look at that. Rejection, rejecting. We got ADP coming in too. Gotta wait for that news to come in. It's a red folder news. We got high impact. Again, high impact news coming in about 9 minutes. High impact news coming in. 9 minutes. Can you explain the fact of price breaking the high on the first minute? Yeah, it becomes very risky at that point if it breaks the high in the first minute, because then it can come down to make a lower wick. Right? So if it's coming down, maybe it's coming down to make a lower wick to possibly continue up, but we're going to see what happens with the news. Because look, if the news comes out positive, if it's a positive news, what does that mean for the US dollar? For the US dollar, that means that's strong, right? And in the meantime, if that's good for the US dollar, what does that mean for the yen? Even though the yen is closed, what would that do to the yen? It will make the yen weaker, right? If the yen is weakened with the strong USD news, then pound yen should continue moving bullish. GJ will sell if pound gets strong. Oh, I don't think so. If dollar gets strong. No, if dollar gets strong, then yen gets weak. And if yen gets weak, then pound yen goes up. I mean, that's the anticipation, right? Other than that, anything can happen. Let's see. Let's see what happens with the news. Just ordered Magic Keys version 2.0, super stoked. Oh, thank you. For everyone who ordered, we really appreciate it. We're having a little, our suppliers are having chip shortages in China. They're having chip shortages, those same chips with cars, electronics, everything. Let's see here. At the moment, price breaks 15. Okay, so normally, if this was NFP, I'd be looking at buy stops above the high of the 15-minute candle and sell stops below the low of the 15-minute candle. So probably sell stops I'd be looking at 1682 and buy stops probably at like 1687 for either price to break up or to break down. We got 5 minutes left. Is it possible to manage risk without magic keys? Yes. Exactly. Some people are asking what are magic keys. Let me put that up here on the screen for you for the gulag. Why are you not taking the trade at ADP? Because it's the news, man. We don't trade the news. Why are
Hey, Raja.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, just look in the ADP. So they're expecting like great results compared to the previous. Am I right? So that's good for the American dollar.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We got 4.5 minutes left. What's your opinion on funding companies? Like, do you think it's risky or what? I think they're not risky. They're pretty good. I mean, I think these funding companies, they're for people who are consistent on their smaller accounts, and then you're looking for a little bit of a leverage. That's what it's good for. I think they're marketed in a way towards new traders to kind of like, push buttons on their greed that, hey, if you want to trade with a bigger account, come over here. But if you don't have any experience in making consistent profits or growing your account consistently, then trading on a funding company is going to get pretty hard, right? Because think about this. You're moving from a $500 account to a $100,000 account or a $50,000 account when you've never really seen that money in real life. And when you go in drawdowns, your drawdowns are like, $800 drawdown, $1,000 drawdown. So that affects you mentally a little bit. So I think a very, very good idea would be to start with a smaller account, get consistent, so that you can kind of understand that the outcome is just based on where price is moving. It's not about the monetary outcome. It's about whether your analysis is right or not. And once you truly understand that at the end of the day, it's all about your analysis, if it's a big account, a small account, it doesn't really matter. Because for you, it's just the move that's going to happen and the risk you're taking on that move. Why did you say that yen becomes weak and not the pound becomes weak? Because ADP has nothing to do with the pound. US news has nothing to do with the pound. You may see pound yen move because, USD affects yen, and you may see GU move because GU has USD in it. Will the old Magic Keys hardware be obsolete? No, you can still use it. Just like, when you have your iPhone 11 and iPhone 12 comes out, you can still use your iPhone 11. But the difference is that we don't slow down the devices. When the new phones come out, older phones, they just get slow.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they don't work.
Yeah, all of a sudden they start working. What package do you have with TradingView? I actually got their Black Friday package they had. I think it was like $50 for the whole year. So that's what I had. All right. We got a minute left over here. Looks like pound yen is on its way at this point. 15-minute candle is about to close. This is good, because if this 15-minute candle closes bullish and the next one breaks the high, man, we're on our way up here on pound yen.
Yeah, man. I think even impulsive buys is gonna will work on pound. Yeah.
All right. Gold is at this point. GU is ranging. Interesting.
We have 2 minutes left. So the important thing, the only thing that may happen on pound is this 15-minute candle created a new high, and the next one with the news coming down and closing back in this range, and then it's becoming a fake out. Other than that, this candle already did the retest that we wanted. So this one closing outside this nasty resistance can easily drive price toward the next quarter point. I mean, to the 700, let's say 700.
Yeah.
We have like 15 pips above that area.
Are you taking this trade? No, I'm not taking any trades today. After the stream, oh wow, look at that. Oh, rejection.
Yep.
All right, let's see if gold is going to break this candle's high or the low to continue bullish or bearish. ADP normally doesn't have that big of a move. Oh yeah, no buys for pound at all. Pound yen, nothing. Let's see what the numbers were here. Ooh, 517. Oh, worse than expected, but not that bad. Gold is still in the range, 1688. Pound yen is still in this area over here, just ranging. Yeah. Just ranging. I hope no one took buys on pound yen. I really hope no one did that. What is Magic Keys? Magic Keys is a handheld device to manage risk. There's a website on your screen there on YouTube. You can see that. So this is what it is. This is a new version right here. You can close all close half, close custom. I mean, I really like it. I really, really, really like it. From the first day I used it, I still use it today. What about EU? I'm in long right now. Bicep, bicep. All right, let's take a look over here. EU, Euro USD. Oh wow, 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bearish, rejecting some sort of support down over here. Looking at 30-minute time frame, we're bearish, 15-minute bearish. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be difficult. Maybe above this area, you can look for longs, but there's also like 8-9 pips. You know, pretty difficult at that point.
Maybe looking at EU, Raja, does the ADP affect that at all?
Yeah, it's USD, right? So it does affect it, but like ADP normally doesn't have that much big of a volume.
Okay, so when they put the envelope or the folder in red on the calendar, I guess when they say high impact, it doesn't really mean squat, right?
Yeah, that's what I've seen over a number of years, that ADP just doesn't really affect price as much at all. Like you can look at gold, nothing really happened. It's still ranging here. Your USD is also ranging here.
Yeah.
You got pound.
Mr. Raj and team, I am going to head out. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Be good, Kerwin.
Yeah,
All right, man. Take care.
Take care, Kerwin. Peace out.
Okay, my brother. Peace out, my brother.
Let's see here. With the shortage, how long you think will take for the new pre-orders to get fulfilled? Probably we're looking at shipping around second week of April. That's what we're looking at. Second week of April. For Magic Keys, what's the new version? Have the old one doesn't? It's just, it doesn't need any batteries. It comes with a USB cable. You can charge it, and that's, yeah, doesn't need any batteries. Better design, you know, more sleek, kind of like looks like an iPhone. Second week is next week or the week after? Second week of April is after the first week of April. So the first week has 7 days in April. So the second set of 7 days in April is the second week of April. Soon Raja needs a wide camera to fit his shoulders. Yeah, man, I've been going to the gym every day. What about EU? Euro USD? Your USD is obviously ranging at this point. Nothing so far. You know, since 6:30 a.m., nothing really happened here so far. Nothing. No moves, no volume. Nothing at all. All right. Hey, why do you only trade GJ? Any thoughts on other pairs? The reason why I focus on GJ is because I've been focusing on this for a long time, and I feel very, very comfortable with trading pound yen. And also, like, you know, one thing we have to understand is that if you're focusing on one pair, you have to realize that every pair has its own personality in different sessions, right? If you look at pound yen in the Asian session, it's going to move differently in that session. Same thing in London session, you know, because in London session, pound yen is only being influenced by the pound. And when you move into the US session, it moves a little bit different in the US session, right? So if you're only used to pound yen, and if you start looking at, let's say, Euro USD, now Euro USD has a completely different movements on all the sessions, right? Which is why it's really, really important to just focus on one pair so that you can really understand its nuances, the way it moves, the way it operates in different market opens, market closes, right? So those are really important things that we need to focus on as a new trader. What new traders do is they try to focus on, 3 pairs, 4 pairs. It's very difficult at that point, because when I first started, what used to happen to me was I'd be focusing on, let's say, USD CAD, right? Because I started here, and then, like CAD because I live in Canada, and USD because the US is right there. So USD CAD made much more sense. Would be looking at 4 pairs, 5 pairs, and would be waiting for a move on, let's say, USD CAD, but I would miss it because I'd be looking at some other pairs. Let's take a look at over here. I remember the stream where Raja was wearing his shirt and someone thought it was a Mickey Mouse shirt. Yeah, it's the same shirt right here. Gas monkey. So yeah, it looks like gold is breaking below these lows. Oh yeah, I think gold is on its way down over here at this point. We got 8 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame here. 5-minute time frame. 5-minute candle is about to close in 2 minutes here as well. I mean, if it breaks its own low on the 5-minute, I think that could trigger a continuation move down towards 1679. Or if the next 5-minute breaks the low, it can trigger a continuation down. Ignoring this area right over here. Triggered my sell stop. Well. I don't know why anyone wants to be risky that way. But yeah, I mean, if it breaks its own low, I think it's good to go down. Or if the next candle breaks this low, I think it's good to go down. At the same time, I don't think in the beginning as a new trader, you should be looking for sell stops or buy stops. But, to each their own. All right. Let's see here. I like to backtrack and take analysis on all sessions to find the probability of New York session. Oh, the best way to find probability in New York session is to just watch New York session and really study New York session. Let's see this over here. Ooh, we got 40 seconds left here in gold. 40 seconds left. I've been using a $1,000 account for the last 2 months and have been managing lot size and some risk. Biggest drawdown was 6% and 4% in profits. Would you advise to increase my account? For the last 2 months, yeah, sure. You can add more money to it. If you have $1,000 right now, you can maybe add 500 more or maybe add 1,000 more and see how you go with that mindset. Because the more money you put in, your level of risk management, it increases as well, because now you're looking at bigger numbers at that same time. Oh wow, look at that where it closed. It closed above this area over here. My magic keys wasn't working, so I deleted the software. I lost the URL to download. Should I email support? Yes. One thing I had to figure out for myself was I didn't like getting a race and winning and trying to get 30 pips. So I believe getting 10 to 15 pips is the best. You know what? To be honest, the time I've been trading, I've honestly found that price will always give you 10 to 13, 15 pips to take profit all the time. And most retracements happen after like 10 to 13, 14 pips. That's what I've seen personally. Do you think it's a good idea to enter GJ buys if the candle breaks the top of the 15-minute candle? Yeah, probably right over here. I mean, and now at the same time you gotta wait for this candle to close, and if it so far we're just ranging at this point. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here by Tinos Gajoni. I think it's Gihoni or something. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Overall uptrend, resistance becomes support after retest, entry. Any thoughts? I think it was good. Yeah, it was a good trade right here because price closed bullish. Entry was risky, but there was less confirmations, but you know, it played out the way we wanted to. Came up towards a minor level and kind of like rejected there.
Yeah, because I want to play with my son.
Okay. That's good.
Hey, Roger, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is it hard for you? I mean, I'm sure now it's not, but is it hard for you to kind of sit on your hands and not really take a trade? You know, if you're sitting on the charts, you know, for the time frame, and it's like you're waiting for an opportunity. Is it hard for you to not enter into a trade in the day? Let's say the opportunity doesn't present itself, or do you feel kind of like jumpy in a sense? Because this GJ trade, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. And I definitely learned a big lesson. I should have waited for the candle to close above. But, you know, can you talk about that maybe? Did you have issues with that in the past, or are you always being pretty disciplined when it comes to just waiting for the opportunity to present itself?
Yeah, in the beginning, I had some issues with that. You know, like I'd get really jumpy at that, and because of that, like most of our unnecessary losses come from the fact that you're right. Like you get a little jumpy, right? You get like, oh yeah, I gotta take it. You take it, comes back into drawdown. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have taken it, and that comes from fear of missing out on a trade. You know, and the sooner I realized that okay, it's okay to miss trades, that feeling just went away. You know, it literally just went away because sometimes, you know, I do miss trades. Like on Friday, we had a really good buy opportunity. The same opportunity came on Monday. On Friday, missed out on the trade. I literally sat out and saw the whole trade play out, you know, but at the same time, I knew why it's playing out. And I also knew that if this same situation happens again and I'm missing out on this trade, I'm going to be willing to execute on it the second time around. You know, so it all comes down to the fact that are you really scared in missing out on the trade, or are you okay with missing out on a trade? So it's like saying, like, let's say if you run a business, right? You run a business and, like, you know, in business you get a lot of opportunities, but then there are some opportunities which are good, but you know that it's okay to miss out on some opportunities because maybe they may not be good, like, you know, in the long run, in terms of like habits and all those things. So when this kind of was breaking up, I wanted to enter, but at the same time I knew that, okay, like, you know, we got news coming in, the 30-minute candle is still open, I'm not sure how it's going to close, you know. So even like sometimes, you know, I also talk about, okay guys, so this candle is breaking up, now it can either continue moving up and I can miss the trade, or it can close bullish and then I can have a better confirmation to enter. You know, so this was one of those cases where I told myself, okay, if it continues moving up, it's okay if I'm missing the trade, but I need that stronger confirmation.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. Yeah, gold is still ranging. Your USD is ranging. GA is ranging. GU is also ranging. No trades. It's like it's going to be a no trade day here today. No trade day is character building day. Got 30 minutes left for the candle to close. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, my new shirts also came in the mail. Someone told me they were delivered yesterday. Can't wait to check them out. What's this over here? What do you think about trading on Fridays since it's holidays in some countries? It's still good. Fridays are still pretty good days most times. But I think on Friday we should be more cautious on Fridays is because, we spend the whole week trading, and sometimes, if we take losses the whole week, we get this sort of like we get stuck in this mental space where we think that, okay, maybe on Fridays we can make all those losses back, but that's not how it works. Most times on Fridays, we get a little antsy, FOMO kicks in, greed kicks in, and I've seen people take most of the losses on Mondays because they want to get into trades and make money from the first day, or Fridays where they're anxious about making back their losses, or those things there. So I think that's why it's really important to be very careful on Friday on a mental level, though, not on a technical level on charts, but especially on a mental level. Oh wow, gold came right back up. Damn. What do you think is worth to risk 1 to 3% a trade and still make sense? I usually take 5 trades a day. Well, if you're taking 5 trades a day and you're doing 1 to 3% per trade, that's 5 to 15% risk a day. That's way too high. Way too high. The risk is too high at that time. Hi, Wix Not Lie. Are you Team Godzilla or Team King Kong? I'm Team Godzilla because I grew up watching Godzilla. Yeah, you guys remember that first movie of Godzilla came out in 1992 in Japan? Terrible, terrible graphics. It was still pretty good.
I'm amazed you remembered the year. That's impressive.
Yeah, because I was super excited. I wasn't even born yet. Oh, most of the people weren't even born yet. That's true. That's a long time ago.
Makes us feel old.
Yeah, it makes us feel old. There was these cartoons I used to watch. Animaniacs. Animaniacs. Let me see if I can Google them over here.
Yo, that was a sick show, man. Animaniacs?
Yeah. Animaniacs. Yeah, right here. Yes, 1993. I remember these cartoons. Before school, we used to watch them every morning before school. Yeah, super nice cartoons. Sick show.
Another sick show is Saved by the Bell. Back in the day, Zach Morris and them guys.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Saved by the Bell. Most of the shows back in the 90s, they would be so frowned upon right now. Now, most of the shows back then, man, now it's a different world. If you bring a kid from the 90s and put them in 2020, he'd be like, what's going on over here?
Can you imagine if South Park was still on?
Yeah. Oh yeah, South Park. Damn. Cancel that stuff.
Hey, even Family Guy, I mean, for like, it's not that old, but I mean, they push the envelope quite a bit.
Yeah.
And South Park would be canceled on the pilot episode.
Oh, where the satellite comes out of Cartman's ass to find the aliens. Yeah.
That's it.
The first episode I saw, I'm like, what's going on over here? They're looking for alien satellites coming out of this guy's ass. And I mean, yeah, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Jag har öppnat ett sånt jävla sparkonto där jag försöker... Det har suttit en sån klausul då. 19 november då.
Oh, I thought that was some British accent. I was like, wait a minute, that's not even English. Yeah, I mean, we're just ranging here. Gold ranging, GU range. So since we're ranging at this point, let's just talk about range here, right? So look, pound yen has been ranging from pre-New York moving into NY open, right? And now you got to ask yourself that, okay, if we ranged in, hold on. So if we ranged in pre-New York, right? We ranged during New York open. The next time when this is going to be volume is going to be New York Stock Exchange open or with the start of the new 4-hour candle, right? So you can kind of like align yourself with the market, see that, okay, if the next volume is going to be at NYSE open, you just got to wait for that time. Probably like, you know, like another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That's when you're going to see another burst of volume come in. Same thing goes for gold, because the gold has also been ranging from actually London open. Since London open, we've been ranging between 1688 and 1683 in this 50 pip range. You know, so you know, if we break above 1689, 1690, very high possibility to continue up. If we break below 1683, great possibility to continue down. You know, just got to keep in mind these times when there's ranges. Another good example I can show right over here. Best times to trade, right? So look at this. New York session, pre-New York. If we're ranging here, then we got to look to see when this is going to be next volume. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, NY open. If we're ranging at this time, we got to look to see when this is going to be next time when this is going to be volume, right? Next time this is going to be volume between 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. You know, 10 a.m., 10:30, you know, London close hour right here. So, yeah, this time just gotta wait over here for these ranges to break. Have you been to Singapore? No, I haven't, but I'd love to go. Probably next year we'll see, or maybe by the end of this year. We got U.S. initial jobless claims on tomorrow. In your experience, is this event more volume impact? Yes. Yes, it's very hard to predict if that's going to have like, you know, a big impact. I mean, at the end of the day, it all depends on the numbers, right? Because look, they're looking at like, you know, like almost like a 10,000 less than the previous, you know. So I mean, if this number fluctuates a lot, if this is really, really low number, then that's going to have an impact on the market. But if the number is like kind of like the same, almost the same, just like ADP here, you can see it wasn't that big of a difference. So it depends on that. How many years did it take you to get to your current success? I don't think it's the amount of years. It's the time you understand that all you have to do is focus on 1 or 2 trades a day and really, really enjoy managing risk. You know, I enjoy managing risk just as much as I enjoy locking in profits. Like, you know, whenever I have the ability to cut down my losses, I'm just like, wow, crazy. It's amazing. You know, took a smaller loss than anticipated. I think there was a day I took a $17 loss on an 8 lot. You know, that was a very proud moment for me. I was like, I took a loss, but the loss was really, really small. You know, the commission was bigger than the loss. All right, so slowly we're coming back up over here on pound yen. This candle right here closed with a smaller body, small bearish body, which means there's less bearish volume. And if we kind of like break above this area, I think then that's somewhere we can continue moving up. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is gold, 15 and 30 minute candle close above 1690, buy as price breaks up. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing over here. If you kind of like break above that area, we can move up. Sergio donated $4.99. Everybody give a like on stream, and thank you for the free knowledge. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at this GA idea here coming in. So we got a resistance at 1.81 0.40. It looks good if we break above that area. And then we can anticipate volume to crushing price through this wick over here to continue to 1.81300. Right up over here. Alright, so if we do break above the high on the 30-minute, the stop is going to be around, I would say like 10, 11 pips within the range. You know, anticipating price to move up. You got like a 16, 17 pip range over there. But we'll see what happens, you know. I mean, this 15-minute candle is about to close over here, and if it closes below resistance, it's basically below resistance at that point. Are you going to start a OnlyFans? Probably for my signals, yes. Just joking. No, man. No. Do you have any NFTs? No, I don't have any NFTs. I'm looking to get in them, but wow, look at this. Gold is about to break up over here. We had bad numbers, so I think bad numbers are going to get absorbed into the market slowly, and we may see gold breaking past 1690. Yeah. Hey Raja, after a few losses, I know we should not trade, but when you see a perfect setup to trade, then how do you control that emotion of not trading? Just don't trade. Very easy. When you are driving fast and you see a red light, how do you control the emotion of not running the red light? How? You just stop, man. You put your foot on the brake and you just stop. So same thing goes over here. If you're trading, you're taking losses, you see a perfect trade you want to take, how do you stop yourself from not taking that trade? You just don't take the trade. If you got an SRT, you can floor it and keep the red light. You know, when I see yellow lights, I just floor it sometimes. And I barely make it. Yeah, my biggest fear is that me flooring it through a yellow light and I see a cop on the other lane. And then he just turns around and Nino. Yeah, that's my biggest fear. The cop sees this guy roaring through the yellow light and is like, uh-oh, someone's gonna get a ticket today. Yeah, the Halton police don't pay. I found a crack against to get the tickets. So I got a speeding ticket the other day, and what I did was I appealed it in court. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna fight the ticket. So of course we have the COVID times now, and you know the courts are backed up. So they gave me a date for about like 3 months down the road. The time came for the date. So what happens is that if you fight the ticket and the cop doesn't show up to the hearing, they throw the ticket out. So a day before my hearing, I called in. I'm like, hey, listen, I won't be able to come in tomorrow, so we have to postpone it. They postponed it for 1 more month. So when that month came, we got on a Zoom call, and basically the cop never showed up, and they threw away the ticket. No points taken off, no insurance went up, nothing. They basically threw away the ticket. Because the cop probably thought about it. He said, man, I'm not going to waste my time on this guy to jump on the Zoom call. So he basically never showed up. But some cops do show up, the second time around. And then then you don't pay the whole thing, but you pay like a portion of it because they reduce it a little bit. When a candle break a level, do that candle has to close above the level to be a level? Yes. So if you see right here, the 15-minute candle closed above this area, but I think this rejection to the left-hand side is kind of like influencing price to not break above. So we're going to keep this in consideration here. This is a 1690 level. So I think to be safe, you need the candle to kind of break above 1690 to continue moving bullish. The 4-hour candle is also about to close in 15 minutes. So I think it's going to be a very good idea to kind of wait for that 4-hour candle to close as well. It's also about to close on the pound over here too. We're closing bullish, right? So obviously we're at this resistance over here stuck, so we gotta wait. But I do think if we break above 152, let's say 550, we have a really good opportunity for price to continue bullish. Why you chose to be a scalper instead of a swing trader? Because I think the main reason was that I started with scalping and then I started to do swing trading. And what I found out about swing trading was that for the most part, my trades would always go in profits for about, 15 pips, 20 pips. Most of the time, they'd always go in profits for about 10 pips. And then it would always go in a drawdown all the time. So I looked at that and said, well, maybe I can secure 10 to 15 pips almost all the time and let the runners run. If the runners run into profits, awesome. If not, whatever, that's still fine. But now what I've noticed is that whenever I leave runners running around, maybe 80% of the time they get stopped out. But 10 to 15% of the time, they always continue moving, my runners. So that's why I stuck to scalping, day trading. It's the same thing. You just take 1 or 2 trades a day. That's basically scalping and day trading, Swing trading, you're taking 1 or 2 trades a week. So there's longer wait time for swing trading. It also depends on what your personality is like, right? Because all candles, they form the same way on all time frames. On the daily, weekly, monthly, all candles are the same. The wait times are just different because, you're looking at different time frames. Oh, look at this. Martin DeBlois from YouTube. I studied in Ontario and won at court 3 times for cops not showing up. Yeah, see, it's true. Cops, they basically don't show up. Some show up the first time. The second time, they're just like, nah, not going to bother with that. Yeah, some do. Some do show up the second time. If the 15-minute candle closed above or below a level, should we also look at what other lower time frames are doing? Probably not, right? Because if the 15-minute candle is closing above, let's say the 30-minute candle closes above this resistance in 10 minutes, right? Then there's a very high possibility that the next 30-minute candle can continue moving up only because we have this huge rejection. And also, if and only if this candle closes bullish, we also take into this rejection into account for the next one to continue up. Logan always shows up. Oh yeah, Logan's a cop over here. Met Logan in Chicago. He's like, nah man, I always show up for you guys. Yeah, just waiting over here now. Man, what a day here today. No trade. Nothing showed up to execute. Absolutely nothing. Impulse entry, I'm not sure. The new 4-hour candle is going to start, and you have to understand, right? When the new 4-hour candle starts, it doesn't have to make a lower wick, but it could make a lower wick and then continue down, right? So if, let's say, the 4-hour candle closes above 152.500 on the 30-minute time frame, that would mean the candle is closing above this resistance. But then you have to keep in account that also the next candle can kind of retrace, respect this low to continue up. Because you would want to see the next candle to form maybe if this candle closes bullish like this, then there's a high opportunity for the next candle to continue up. Because the previous one closed like a strong bullish candle with a rejection at the bottom as well. Video games affect impulse actions. Yes, that is true. How much money did you start to build up your account? I think the biggest deposit I did was about 7,000. That was the biggest deposit I did. But now I play with around 60,000, 70,000, somewhere there. Do you have your strategy fully back tested? I back test every day. I mean, this me looking at the charts, this is like live back testing here. This is live back testing. Man is playing with people's yearly salary. I know someone who's playing with my yearly income. You know, there are always levels. There are always different levels. I was talking about this to my brother, right? And we're talking about how if you make, let's say, if you're making 400,000 a year, right? Doing a job or whatever you're doing, right? Let's say you're making 400,000 a year profit, you're in the top 1%, right? And we were talking about that even though if you're making 400,000 a year, you're in the top 1%, that top 1% has levels. Because even though if you're in the top 1%, you're at the bottom of that 1%. You know, there are also levels to that 1%. You got the 1 million level, 10 million, 100 million, billion. So that 1% has different levels to it too. So looking at things from that perspective really humbles me a lot, because no matter how big you think you are, there's always someone bigger than you. Just gotta look around the corner and you're gonna see that big guy. The other day I was driving around with my SRT in my little town here in Milton, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm like the biggest guy around here on the road with the SRT, and all of a sudden I see another one, and that was a Hellcat. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy's even bigger than me. Yeah, it's funny when you see someone bigger than you walk around, you're like, oh shit. I don't think I'm that big. Oh, what's this? All right, we got 7 minutes left over here. I think I'm gonna just want to wait for the 6 minutes to pass, see how this candle closes, and just gonna call it a day at that point. No trades taken today. See, this is how you keep winning. You know, when you don't see a trade, you don't take a trade, and that's it. Took trades yesterday, had winning trades, and today there's no trade, so yeah. It's a time when Drake said the first million is hardest to make, and billionaire Pickens said the first billion is. Oh damn. That's some flex right there. But Drake is right though, the first million is the hardest to make. But then a billionaire comes along, nah man, the first billion is you're like, oh. It's crazy to think that 1,000 millions is 1 billion. That's just insane. With this shortage, how long do you think it will take for new pre-orders to be fulfilled? Wow, this guy's been asking this question for about an hour now. Probably like mid-April. Probably by mid-April. I think running a business is a formula. You know, like when you get to a certain level, you know it's just a formula at that time. It's very hard to kind of do that. I'm probably gonna, like, you know, once the brokerage gets up and running and it goes smooth for the first, you know, 4 or 5 months, I'm probably gonna write a document on different formulas I use to, like, you know, maybe build up business. Like, you know, we had the education thing, and then we have Magic Keys, we have brokerage now. You know, so I think everything has like a formula at the same time. Like, I think my brother also does the same thing with his business in leather, and I think a lot of other guys, like, you know, who have started multiple businesses, they've basically, like, you know, copied the things they learned from the first one and put them in the second one and then the third one. It's hard to explain right now, but I'll try to like write it down for everybody. I don't know if someone can find value in it or not, but we'll see how that goes.
Roger, quick question for Dominion Markets and Canadian residents. Will you guys be doing like Interac e-transfers?
No. That's a very delicate situation over there with the regulations.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We have some other options, but obviously they're based on trust. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what other options we can bring forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, gold is just ranging over here. Nothing happening here. I think all these breaks are going to come around New York Stock Exchange open. Like in about 30 minutes. If you see something you like after the stream or when your trading hours are open, do you ever take it? Sometimes, yes. So I'm going to be looking at pound yen breaking above 152.550 in about 30 minutes, you know, by NYC open, or sells below this area. That's something we're going to be looking for. Or maybe looking at gold above 1690. Stay for NYC open? No, I can't. I got gym at 10 and I have to have my breakfast in about 10 minutes. What do you have for breakfast today? Oh, probably 4 eggs and two pieces of toast, some avocados.
With ketchup.
No, we're out of ketchup, man. Good. Yeah, we got to get more. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, we go to the breakfast place. They bring us their amazing breakfast, and I grab a bottle of ketchup, and I'm like, and the waitress looks at me like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, cold ketchup on warm breakfast. Yeah, man, ketchup on pancakes with chicken, barbecue, wings, everything. Because in Pakistan, we didn't have ranch and all those sauces. We had ketchup only. All right, we're going to take a look at this last trade. Would you take a look on this bad trade I took, but managed risk? Thank you. All right, let's take a look over here. Okay, so candle closed below support right here. Entered sell as, yeah, that was a bad trade because the candle was bullish. Bad trade. But he managed risk, which is also pretty good at the same time. All right, everybody, I'm going to head off over here. I'm going to be watching gold above 1690 till, 10 a.m. Also going to be watching pound yen above, 152.550 and
Get
below
down.
152 to 100.
Thank you, Raja.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Raja.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Raja. Have a good day.
You too, guys. Have a great day. And yo, remember, whoever made profits in the last 2 weeks, just withdraw something. This is the end of the month today. Do a small withdrawal. Be happy about it.
Thanks, boss. Take care.
Take care. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Obrigado, Brasil.
Hey, Brazil.